Edwin Javius, an educational expert and dynamic presenter, has motivated, inspired, and provided strategies for educators at all levels, the will and skill to become efficacious. Javius's professional reputation has garnered him as one of the nation's leader in developing concrete approaches to moving theory to practice in the area of educational equity. He provides clear actions for policymakers and key educational leaders to develop equity-driven policies, practices, and protocols to improve educational outcomes for all.
We need to design a program, make a priority. We're going to close the achievement gap. Unlike any other state, closing the achievement gap is more important in California. If California is going to remain the 7th or 8th largest economic engine in the world, we have to have that well-skilled workforce. And that well-skilled workforce is going to be a product of our public school system.
As we know, there's nothing new in education to close this equity gap. It's really how do we sustain and institutionalize. We're really going to charge the people, the participants here, is to actually go back and go slow to go fast, but go.
We have an achievement gap, and the achievement gap is real, it's stark, it's glaring, and it absolutely must be addressed.
But when I started the first day of school, and I don't know if you did this, but this is what I did the first day of school. I told my students when I first saw them, and you can go back and do this too, I said, you guys got lucky. You must have paid off the counselor. Your mama must have called in. Because you guys are in my classroom the first period. I am the best. I am the bomb, y'all. You guys are in the best classroom. Now, you had my friend last year. She was okay. But you got lucky. You are in the master teacher's classroom. You are going to work hard, but we're going to have some fun, and you just got lucky. You got lucky. So because I am the master teacher. So I got my kids all engaged, and then there was this one kid in the back. He's saying, we'll bring it. So for 182 days, I had to bring it. I had to bring it, and as soon as I didn't bring it, you know Dante in the back says, I thought you was the master teacher. And I only say that to you because we have to bring it every day. We have to bring it every single day. See, I'm going to go a different traditional way of this coaching piece. We know too much. Ron Edmonds says we know everything we need to know in effective schools, right? Larry Lazat and Ron Edmonds talked about, and it's the issue is, why haven't we done what we know that we need to do?
And it's just a rejuvenation of a belief system with equity and diversity and inclusion of all students.
If you can leave here having an insatiable appetite to rid your district, your school, of mediocre teaching, an insatiable appetite to rid your school and or your district or your county of mediocre teaching. That's what we're here for.
The gap has been the application of this culturally relevant pedagogy to the classroom, and Ed Equity fills that gap incredibly well. Because see, with Ed Equity, unlike with my keynote speakers, even unlike with all of my other people, they don't have a company behind what they do. They just do, that's what they do, and then they go teach at a university or something, or they're researchers. But in your case, I could actually tell the people, and here's a company that's doing this work at an excellent level that you can go and use.
I don't think race impacts student achievement. See, I'm getting in trouble here. Race does not impact student achievement. It's how educators view and react to race that impacts student achievement. Because I'm a black boy doesn't mean I'm going to learn less than someone else. But the way you view me as a black boy may mean how long you're going to stick with me, your expectations around me, and so on and so forth. So we really work with the adults in terms of how they view race, okay? Research says it's not race, not class, it's not poverty, it's not gender. It's how we respond to those things. And right now, we're not responding to them we are responding to them around our black boys. Okay, around our black boys. Now, one of the things I think that we have the practitioners here to make this happen. Do we have the system to support your journey?
I only have 2 days, 2 type of days. I have great days and I have fabulous days. I don't even have good days anymore. Why? Because a good day for me can get me fired. Oh, that was good. Thank you very much. So I have to have great days and fabulous days, because even your average day is some kid's best day. You are a merchant of hope for our youngsters. You are a merchant of hope, and they want you to take them. They want you to make them fall in love with mathematics. They want you to make them fall in love with the classics. They want you to make them fall in love with science. They want you to say, help me with that ball. They want you to teach them phonics instruction. They want you. It's going to be you. So you have to be the best that you can be. This has got to be the best year that you're going to have for your youngsters. The best year. And then you're going to have some kids who are not on grade level. I know. But you know what? You're going to put enough sand in that hole, and then you're going to pass them off to your friend, and they're going to put some sand in the hole. And you know what? That kid's going to graduate. That kid's going to graduate. That kid's going to graduate, and then they're going to come back, and then they're going to follow you around the campus because you were their Pied Piper. You ever have one of those kids that come back and you're like, oh my God, he's back. I don't even want to see him anymore. He says, no, I went on to college. Thank you very much. I know you kicked my butt. Because you were a warm demander. You said, I love you so much, I'll kill you if you don't get this stuff done. Isn't that what your mom says? Hey, I'll kill you. That's how much I love you. And I want you to think about that whole idea of being a warm demander. I care so much. I care so much that I'm going to get you on grade level. I care so much if you don't do it, you're going to disappoint me. I care so much that I'm going to call your mom or dad when you are doing good. I'm going to catch you doing good. I'm not going to catch you doing bad, because that's easy to catch. But I'm going to catch you doing good.
There's not one solution that's going to help us close the achievement gap. And what might work for one subgroup may not work for another. And I'll take this one step further. What might work for an African American subgroup in an inner city may not work for an African American subgroup in a rural area.
What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give you the strategy to close the achievement gap in schools. All right, here's the strategy to close the achievement gap in schools. Yeah, that's it. You guys ready for this? I hope my folks in the back, if we can get a shot of this, this would be great. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Improve the quality of instruction. We can double block classes. We can have fidelity to whatever we're gonna do. We can even do a PBIS. We can do an RTI. We can do pacing guides. We can do formative assessments. We can go ahead and say we're gonna have mentoring programs. We have found out this is the #1 way to close the achievement gap, is to improve what we do from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Now, some of you guys are saying, we flew this boy all the way up here from California to tell us that we just need to improve the quality of instruction. Yeah? Yeah? I know it's not sexy. It is really us figuring out how do we have an insatiable appetite to get better. That's what we do. High-performing organizations have an insatiable appetite to want to get better. And the way we get better is improving the quality of what we do from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock for every single child,
And this was awesome. I think Dr. Jarvis is excellent, and his message is very simple yet important for all us educators, for everybody in the world.
Jarvis was just wonderful. The way he presented the material, like he said, it isn't new. It is in the presentation. And the way he has blended taking equity, the issues of equity and closing achievement gap, and then blended that with coaching, which is an ongoing professional development for teachers, which is really the part that is missing in our work.
Overall, what I really appreciate the most out of this seminar is the way Edwin taught us through what we want our teachers to teach. Whereas we want our teachers to go to the classroom and implement small group instructions and activities with students and learning from one another. That is what Edwin did for us today. He allowed us to learn from one another, and that's how we want the teachers to learn. So there's not a lot of seminars that do these kinds of things. Usually they talk at us or to us, but here we actually learn not just from Edwin, but also from the other participants. So thank you, Edwin, you rock.
To have Edwin Lou Javius speak at your next event, please contact EdEquity at 877-EdEquity1. That's 877-333-7891. Or visit our website at www.edequity.com.